Okay, so the question is, does newspaper stand the test of time when planting your seedlings? And I would say yes. These are eggplant plants, and they were planted 4 weeks ago. You can see how the roots are starting to grow through. The newspaper's fine, it holds up well. I'd say you could use other types of paper. I've heard not to use the newspaper with colored ink in it, so I'm sticking to the black and white. And here they are at 5 weeks, still holding up great. The discoloration is just from the potting soil. The newspaper's fine. Now these are 5 weeks old and they're ready to be transplanted into bigger containers, just like this one is. And when the newspaper pots, I usually will take off the side. A lot of times the roots will be growing through the bottom, but I go ahead and take off the sides just to give it a little easier conditions for continuing to grow the roots. I'll just take it off like this. And I'm going to fill this pot to the same level as this seedling with potting mix. Just tamp it down a little bit. And that one's ready to go. I'll go ahead and do these others. You can see the paper comes off real easy. You want to have these moist when you transplant them. It makes the paper come off easier and the soil stays together nice. And here, look at these roots growing through the bottom. So I don't want to tear that paper off. I'm just going to leave it just like this. It'll grow fine. It needs a little more soil before I put it in. Get it up a little higher. So you can see there's 3 plants in this pot, and I'll cut one off depending on, 1 or 2 off depending on which one grows the best. You always got to plant a couple more seeds because you're not going to get 100% germination. I did the same in these and only 1 came up. So that was good insurance. Here all 3 came up, and I'll pick the best one once it gets growing. Got 1 more to do. And I'll just tear this off the same way. See, those roots are growing through a little bit. Put that in the container. Put some potting soil in there. I kind of pour it in from the side. It kind of keeps it off the leaves. I'll tamp it down a little bit. And there we go. Okay, those are all potted up, and I'll harden them off outside for a couple weeks and gradually introduce them to sunlight before I plant them in the garden. And then in 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4, I'll plant some more seeds of the same variety. That way I get a succession of the crop throughout the growing season.